Number 242 in the Masters of Cinema collection, and the second part of this Ishiro Honda double bill, is Battle in Outer Space. The second feature in this pack, and this one is a sequel to an earlier movie, The Mysterians, that came out, which was a TV movie, which you don't have to have seen to see this movie, because I certainly haven't. And this is all about Earth being attacked by flying saucers at the start of it. They destroy a space station and they start to make their presence known on Earth. They have created a base on the moon of which to attack Earth, and they have begun their colonisation. Of course, Earth comes together, deciding to send up a couple of teams to try and fight back against this alien race. It's a fairly simple premise. We've seen this kind of story done before, but it's done here in a really kind of pulpy 50s manner that's super colourful, super vibrant, and just full of energy. It makes it so much fun to watch. Low grade special effects, it has it all. Miniatures by the bucket load, which I really do kind of appreciate, and I feel that it's a little bit of a lost art. Anyway, we are introduced to our characters, of who we have several lead ones, scientists, and various people that are going to be flying these rockets and going to the moon. And you get a wonderful scene of these scientists taking off, landing on the moon, and starting to explore their surroundings, looking to attack these base of operations for the bad guys. Now, it's quite typical in the way it tackles its story. It's kind of by the numbers and just simple stuff. What I really liked was some of the relationships that we have with people, and how the movie looks particularly. Much like the H-Man, this is really colourful, really bright, and just jumps off the screen and has that wonderful aesthetic that I really appreciate. It has this strange idea of what the moon is going to be like, and I like the kind of spaceships and how they are designed, and their look is kind of atypical of flying saucers. I loved particularly how the planet comes together, how they all join forces as they have a common enemy, and they decide to, create what they have to create: spaceships, crafts that are going to fly or take off on Earth into space and fight this warring faction that is determined to colonise Earth as part of their territory. And it's just super fun, cheesy, sci-fi nonsense, which I got a kick out of, particularly on the moon, when you've got these wonderful miniatures of the rockets landing, of them dropping these ships that they're going to use to which I thought they were going to use to drive about the moon, but it turns out they fly as well, to have these wonderful ray gun fights that are just terrific. The only thing is the characters are a little bland, a little atypical, the typical archetypes that you get in these kind of movies. Nothing really distinguishes them from one another, but it doesn't really matter. In fact, there's one character that gets abandoned on the moon that we never really get a final tally from. We don't see how his story ends up. We have an idea, but it's not really given that final closure that I really wanted in that tale. Special effects are amazing. I loved the miniatures. The ray guns were pretty cool. I liked some of the characters. Some of the plot lines were very atypical of science fiction movies of the time. That doesn't detract from the movie at all. It just gives you a kind of warm blanket of nostalgic tropes that you can lie under. It's just an interesting movie. Now, this double pack is wonderful and highly recommended. The transfers themselves are downright beautiful, and they just pop off the screen, and I can't imagine these movies looking any better than what they do in this. They come in 2 cuts on both of these discs. You get the English and the Japanese. The Japanese cuts seem to be 10 minutes longer in each version. Even at that, they're about 90 minutes in length. That's the versions I went for, and I really enjoyed them. I'd love to know your thoughts on Battle in Outer Space. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on ManVFilm.